How you doing? This is Steven from thecryptoist.com, otherwise known as Hash Guide, and in this video we are going to deploy a couple contracts. One contract is going to be our ERC20 token, and the other contract is going to be our crowd sale contract that's going to handle the token sale of our token. So if you are just launching a token and you want to set up the crowd sale as a verifiable contract, then this is the way to go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to initialize our node project and Truffle project in a brand new folder. We're going to install a couple dependencies, and then we're going to start, configuring and writing our contracts. So let's begin. Open up a terminal. We're going to add a couple packages. And for the OpenZeppelin library for a crowd sale, they stopped including it with the version 2.5.0. That's the last version that it has, so we gotta install it with a different command. And we're gonna need Truffle, HD wallet, and once all those gets installed, we can open up our folder, the root directory inside your IDE. I'm using code, Visual Studio Code, so mine is code dot for the current folder. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fix our config. We're going to be deploying it to a Binance Smart Chain Testnet. Okay, so we're going to need wall provider. So select all, hold control, hit K and U. That'll uncomment all that. We don't need the inferior key for this. And we're going to add constant for Binance Smart Chain Testnet, just to give it a string so we can just enter it easier. I do not know it by heart. Alright, so here we are. You can find the Testnet RPC and the Binance Smart Chain docs at docs.binance.org/smartchain. You gotta scroll down. Testnet. Testnet chain ID is 97. So just copy one of these RPCs and copy it into our constant right here. And let's go down to private network. It's easier, when you're just starting off, it's easier to type this to learn it, but for the sake of the video, I'm just doing it just like this. Chain ID, I'll leave that. And for mnemonic, if you don't have a 12-word mnemonic phrase or 24-word, I'm sure anyone would work. For development purposes, don't use your actual wallet that you use to buy tokens and use for DeFi and NFTs and such. Generate a new mnemonic phrase for this purpose, for development purposes, and then when you decide to launch the project in production, make sure you create a brand new address just for that production Dapp. Okay, so if you don't have one, you can simply install and run Ganache-CLI. It's basically a command line JavaScript version of the Ethereum virtual machine. So it's great for testing purposes, development purposes, and such. And every time you start this command, it will give you a 12-word mnemonic phrase. I'm not sure. I think it might give you a new one every single time. But if you just run that command, what I do is I ran that command, and then I'll just use the 12-word mnemonic phrase, save that to a file as .secret in the root file of your project. And what I do is I save this mnemonic phrase, the available accounts and the private keys for development purposes. I'll save them to a text file for whenever I need private keys or whatever. I use the same ones. I have BSC Testnet funds in them, so it works out. Right? These you don't want to transfer real funds to. Any type of mnemonic phrase that's generated in this fashion. Alright? So, like I said, you can get your mnemonic phrase that way. I have one already, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, so like I was saying, mnemonic phrase, the way they have it in here, it's secret.secret in Linux or Unix file systems. The dot means it's hidden. So if you went to look in your, say, your Nautilus file explorer, you wouldn't see it, but if you look for hidden, yeah, whatever. Alright, so another thing is we're going to create the version. I think it was 050 for this version of OpenZeppelin. So now that config is done, when we run our command, it's going to be, truffle deploy -- network BSC testnet. Alright, so now we can save that. That's all done. Now let's go to our contracts folder and let's create our token contract first. So mine's gonna be HG token for HashGuy token, and the first thing I don't think not sure if it's required, but on this version Solidity, but we're gonna add it anyways just to get in the habit of doing it. So the SPDX license identifier, I'm just gonna write unlicensed, but license it however you please. You can look up on Google or whatever, find out what the licenses mean. So after that we can add our pragma. I think it's gonna be, we'll try it with 050. We might have to up it. And now we can import our files. We're going to import the ERC20, ERC20 detailed, and context. So if you're using Visual Studio Code and you get this error with the pragma statement, you can right click on it and go to change default change workspace compiler version, and based on what project you're working on, what version you are, that's where you gotta base it on. If we made this a range right here, we wouldn't have to do that, but this was supposed to be a quick video before I go to bed. Alright, so now we can import our last one is going to be under GSM. Context.sol. Alright, now we can write our contract. Then we gotta build our constructor. This one we'll be doing a little bit different than we have been. Usually we just add information here, but we're going to be using our migrations file to fill in the information. Now this method is used for bigger projects and such, multiple contracts, so it's a great example for anyone who watches my videos. Now we'll go over more in detail one day. But for now, like I said, this is supposed to be a quick video. Alright, so alright, quick explanation. If you want to find out where I found this information, if you hold control and you click on the contracts, yeah, ERC20 detail, this is where the constructor is. As you see here, you got to rebuild this constructor in the contract. So we're just basically rebuilding in here. We're going to fill information with the next part. The next part after the next part. Alright, this one's all set. Now we can build our HG token Crowdsale, we'll call it. Alright, so first things first. License, identifier, pragma. And then we're gonna do our imports. This one we only need one for, and that's obviously the Crowdsale. Like I said, we'll do another video that has more additional features for the Crowdsale, you know, distribution, emission, price, validation, more advanced Crowdsale methods. But for this one, it's just simple Crowdsale, basically show you where in OpenZeppelin and all that and how to use it. And now we can write our contract. HGT Crowdsale is Crowdsale. And then again, we build our constructor. And And if you want to look, hold control, click on Crowdsale. This takes you to the OpenZeppelin Library .sol Solidity file. So if you look right here, the constructor, we're going to need rate, the wallet, and token. If you read right here, we will give you 1 unit if this was 1. We're just going to put 5. We're going to see what we're going to get with the rate of 5. And then wallet is going to be the wallet that is taking the funds, or it's going to withdraw the funds, or the funds go sent to afterwards. And the token is going to be the interface for the token that we're creating right now. And we're going to connect those using the migrations file. Alright, so let's go back to our contract. It's easier to understand when you see it in action. You need to make the wallet payable. This should be it for this file. And the last one we're going to be creating is the migrations. Alright, so in the migrations folder, create a new file, name it to_deploy or to whatever you want, and this is a JavaScript file. And the very first thing I'm going to do is going to artifact require the 2 contracts. Then we're going to be doing the module exports with the async function. We're going to be including more functions other than just deployer. We're going to be including the network and accounts also. So, alright, let's begin. And the same thing, HD token equals artifacts require. Constant HGT crowdsale artifacts. And then we're going to be writing module exports. Now these are Truffle functions that you can include with your migrations files. Now, usually we only use a deployer because we want to deploy our contract to the network. But in this one, we're going to be using network and accounts because we need to transfer coins and use the interface on different contracts. Alright, so HD token. Alright, so now this is where we're going to add the name and the symbol. Alright, so in quotes, I'm just going to call it hash token and HDT. Alright, and actually we need the total supply too, which is going to be the initial supply. So I'm pretty sure we can just enter it as a string, and it'll take care of the big number itself. I'm not. We'll try it this way. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna generate, let's say, 100 million coins, and then 18 zeros. So we'll see if this gives us an error or not, and then we're gonna, just like I showed you guys on how to use Truffle console, it's basically the same thing. Let's call it token. So HTT Crowdsale, and this is going to be the rate that we want to put per Wii. So however many coins you want to give per one Wii. I'm going to give 5. See what happens. I never sat there and done the whole math of but accounts with the square bracket 0, that's the first account in your mnemonic phrase. That's the account where the funds will go to in the end, or a repurchase. And this is where we're going to put the address. So we had token in the as a constant right here, so we can just put token dot address and access the JSON value. And then we need to transfer the tokens to the crowd sale after we are done. So we're going to put crowd sale so we can get the address for this. And then we're going to transfer all the tokens. I think this should be it. Now, before you ever deploy anything, I mean, you can go ahead and compile it, see if you get any errors, but I like to just give it a look. I'm not seeing any red errors in the IDE, but sometimes, how I don't be wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and save all and go to our terminal and try it out. And if this video has helped you at all, please make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Oh, that's my fault. Okay, so in the Truffle config, I had put as a SOLC compiler for 050, but you need at minimum version 055. I apologize for that. If you switch that, you should be good. So we compiled, it compiled correctly. Now I'm going to deploy to the Binance Smart Chain. So like I said, we're doing the testnet. If you do not have testnet tokens in your wallet, then you need to go to the Binance Smart Chain faucet, where it'll give you free Binance testnet tokens to play around with. I believe they have it right here somewhere. And the tools faucet, and then you take that first address that you got from Ganache. If you don't have another development address using the first address for the mnemonic phrase, that's the one that Truffle is going to use to deploy this contract. So you want to put that address in here, the 0x address, and then give me BNB, and then you're ready to deploy. So Truffle deploy network BSC testnet. And for some people, I've realized that mostly on Mac OS, and if you have a lower node version, you might run into some errors that some might not. You have to skip dry run. We can add it to config, but for right now, we're just going to put skip dry run, and it eliminates the error for a lot of people. Or update your node version. So let's see. And then after this, we're going to connect to Truffle console, and we're going to buy tokens real quick. And if you hit that subscribe button right now and you stay tuned, and the next free time I get, we're going to develop a small Dapp where you can put on your website and sell tokens right on your website using this contract that we have created here and the crowd sale that's going on. Now we're not gonna get into all the details right now, and it's going to be a whole new crowdsale contract that's more advanced with more features, ending times, and maybe pausable, whatever. But for now, like I said, hit that subscribe button, share to your friends, family, community, whatever you do, and let's do this. If we go to our address right there on the Binance Smart Chain, bscscan.com, and go up here in the right hand corner, go to testnet, and enter your address, and you'll see that the contracts are getting deployed right here. And you can use, everything's all deployed. You can use, say, BSC scan to interact with the contract. Actually, no, you can't, not until it's verified. That's another video. Stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be doing a verify and publish video as soon as possible. That's going to be my next video probably. I'm surprised I haven't done one yet. Alright, so Truffle console network BSC testnet. So T is going to be for token. Now, in case you're wondering how I did that, Truffle has tab completion. If you start typing something in the terminal, the command line, and you hit tab, it will show you what available properties they can assign, or the parameters. So C is going to be for crowd sale. Actually, supposed to await it. It's saying undefined because when you attach, when you assign a variable name to your contract, you need to add a weight to it. So now token address shows you the address. Alright, I apologize for that. Like I said, I do this as a hobby, so I'm not doing it daily. I get a little rusty when I haven't done it in a while. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to buy tokens, alright? So, well, how we can figure that out is we go to the contract right here, go to Crowdsale, and look for the buy function. If you look at buy tokens right here, we need the address, beneficiary, who's going to be buying tokens, and then pre-validate purchase function is going to run within. So we're going to need to enter the beneficiary again and the we amount. Alright, so I had to do a refresh for my head real quick, but let's do this. Crowdsale.buy tokens. So we're going to do accounts, the first address. Now if you're going to do this too, you got to make sure that second address and your mnemonic phrase, the first 10 addresses, you got to make sure that second address has some Binance, some BNB Testnet tokens in it as well, or this will not work for you. Value. This is the value you want to send in we. So, you know, if I put 1, it's going to give me 5 tokens because that's the we amount. I put 5 tokens per 1 we. We can, you know, put in a different value here for ether wise, but for now we're just going to keep it simple. I'm going to put 1. I already bought 5, so it's going to show 10. We'll put 5. And then when you put the from, and it should go through. It's going to give us, we're going to have 30 at the end of this. So the transaction went through, and again, since we're on a live network, there's a block explorer. You can always go to the transaction hash right here and see what's going on. Testnet. And right here, you can see tokens transferred, hashguy token. Transfer 5 we. And we go back to our terminal. We can do token.balance. We need the await. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. And this is going to give us the token amount, 30. Now that might be 30 we because of the fact that we're using we to buy. We can check that by the balance of then function, arrow function, See, we're working the wee amount. So that's just something to look at. Now, if we do that same thing, token. Now, the reason why we have to get the numbers like this is because Ethereum Virtual Machine uses the big number library for numbers, and it doesn't handle this many decimal places very well. So token supply, then alright, so 100 million. That's how many tokens we generated. So that's correct, but the rate amount for the crowd sale was a little off. I didn't give it a good look over before we did this video, but just want to show you guys how you can do access functions in the Truffle console. And like I said, if you hit that subscribe button right now, I promise you my next video is going to be a little better to understand, and we're going to include a React decentralized application where you can offer your tokens for sale on your website. So hit that subscribe button right now. Thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know how this video helped you at all, and if it has, please make sure to share this to your favorite social media community, friends, family, whatever. If they're not using crypto today, they will be using crypto very soon. Remember, this is Steven from thecryptos.com. Hit that subscribe button.